Well, again, today we're going to be continuing on writing and solving equations. So here we are. Looks just like the problems we've been doing. We know that we're going to be writing expressions. We're only going to use one variable. A couple of you are still using more than one variable. I don't know why. We definitely should only be using one. Parts 2 and 3 are the ones that are a little bit different. Well, really, to be honest, only part of 3 is. This appears to be the hard part for everybody, so we're going to focus on that. So, here you go. Miss McCaffrey's making soup for all of her friends at school. I'm excited about this. She's making it healthy, lots of vegetables. So we look at our first one. She bought 3 times as many pounds of carrots as she did pounds of corn. 3 times as many pounds of carrots as she did corn. So that means the first thing we're starting with is the corn. So that's my first let statement. Let C equal, remember very specific here, I can't just say let C equal corn, that doesn't make any sense. So I have to let C equal number of pounds of corn. And we know we're doing 3 times that to get to our carrots. 3 times that. There's no star, there's no X, there's no anything other than the 3 and the C. A lot of you are still, oh, and that's the other thing. Just, it's 3C. It's not C3. C3 doesn't make any sense. Think of this as C as being a thing. Like if you were walking down the road and you saw houses, you wouldn't say, oh, look at the houses 2 or the houses 3. No, you would say, look at the 2 houses or look at the 3 houses. The number comes first. It just makes sense. It's how we talk. So, and I know I keep writing it in a lot of your warm-up books, but still I'm not seeing that change. So that's another very important thing. So 3C, again, very specific, number of pounds of carrots. That's 2. Remember, we need to write 4 let statements and 4 expressions. So the next one, she bought 4 more, that means I'm going to add 4 more pounds of beans than corn. Oh, be careful here. Corn is right here. Corn is C. So we're going to have let C plus 4 equal number of pounds of beans. Okay, now our last let statement. All together, what does that mean? That's a total. How do we find a total? We add. Okay, that means I'm going to be taking all of my expressions. I've got 3 expressions here, and I'm going to add them all together. So my final let statement is going to be let C, that's this one, plus 3C, that's this one, plus C plus 4, that's that one. All 3 expressions added together equal total number of pounds of veggies. Yummy. Okay, so now I know that the one that I'm focusing on from the next part is the one that's the total. I'm setting the total. Direction says at the total, this is my total next to the total, which is also total. Total equals total. It makes sense. So here we go. So I am going to have C plus 3C, that is a C, plus C plus 4, and that is going to equal 11.5. Okay, I need to combine like terms. Remember, a box in the things that are the same, and I underline the things that are different. So I've got a C plus 3C. That's still a C. They are the same. And I have to keep the plus because sometimes, and we haven't gotten here, but sometimes that's going to be a minus, so we need to know what to do with it. C plus 3C plus C. That's also a box. All these C's, C, 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 all the box. Plus 4, that's a number. So that doesn't get boxed, it gets underlined. So I'm going to move them all into a box. C plus 3C plus C underline plus 4, because it's different. So I've got C plus 3C, that's 4C's, plus another C is 5C plus 4 equals 11.5. What's the question I ask? What's the opposite every single time? So here we go. What's the opposite of plus 4? Well, it's minus 4. And it is like a seesaw. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side. Now, please be very careful here, folks. These are decimals. That is a 4. It's a whole number. It's not 0.4, so it's 4. I mean, to make it clear, I could do 4.0. We know that means the same thing. And we're going to subtract. Only taking away 4, so that's going to be 7.5. These two are going to cancel out. I'm going to be left with 5C equals 7.5. That's the question I ask every single time. What's the opposite? Well, this is times 5. Ironically, it's the same number as we had yesterday. But regardless, it's times 5. The opposite of times 5 is divide by 5. And I'm in 7th grade, so I'm going to divide with a fraction bar. 5 divided by 5, those cancel each other out. They go away. Well, it's really equal to 1, but it goes away. I'm left with C equals 7.5 divided by 5. Well, 5 goes into that 7 one time. There's a 2 left over. That's 2.5. I needed the decimal. 25. 5 goes into 25 5 times. C is equal to 1.5. Now remember, I'm not quite done. I was charged with figuring out how many pounds of everything we're bringing. So this is just like all those expressions we've been doing for weeks now. So I'm going to set it up just like I've been doing. I've got corn, carrots, oops, maybe I should spell carrots, right? And beans, yum-y. Okay, so the expression for corn was C, semicolon. The expression for carrots was 3C, again, semicolon. And for the beans, it was C plus 4, semicolon. The semicolon separates because we know that we're going to be writing over here what that variable C was assigned, or actually what we found it to be, and we found it to be 1.5. So C equals 1.5 every single time, and I need to show my work for all of them. Well, this substitution obviously is quite easy. I know that there's 1.5 pounds of corn. 3C, 3 times 1.5. 3 times 1.5. Well, 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times a half. Well, 3 halves. Well, that's 1.5. So that's going to give me 4.5 pounds. All right. And my last one, I've got, substitute in 1.5 plus 4. Well, 1 plus 4 is 5, so this is 5.5 pounds. Now, I should be correct, but just to double check, and some of you still aren't really picking up on this, but it's important. Let's double check. It's a total. Their total, we know that their total should be 11.5. Let's see if it is. 1.5 plus 4.5 plus 5.5. Well, let's go left to right. 1.5 plus 4 is 5.5. Oh, that's not right. I was doing 1 plus 4.5. That's not what it is. It's 1.5 plus 4.5. 1.5. So the 0.5, if I add that to 4.5, gives me 5. Plus 1 more is 6. Oops. 6 plus 5.5. 6 plus 5 is 11.5. That is a correct total. So therefore, I know that my answers are correct. I've got 1.5 pounds of corn, 4.5 pounds of carrots, and 5.5 pounds of beans. Good job. I can't wait to have Mrs. McCaffrey's soup.